Hey guys! All right, exactly what is a couple session? What does it look like? What to expect from it? And why would it be something to consider? A couple session, pretty much identical to a single session, except for we're gonna all be on the Zoom together. So I'll pull both of your charts and we'll begin to go through the dynamics in each chart. And it's really cool because one of my favorite aspects of this type of session is that each partner gets to see how their spouse, how their partner, how their boyfriend, whatever, is wired, and vice versa. And this really allows for a lot of understanding. It allows for a lot more genuine compassion. These are like some of my favorite sessions that I've done, mainly because I have just watched people and their relationships, the foundation really strengthen. I've watched this understanding of how the other party operates really like take new levels, because it's an understanding that's grounded in a compassion and a kindness. So for example, one of the couples that I read for, they were completely opposite energy types. She was a manifester within human design, he was a generator. The way that their energy flows and works is very different. Now, this particular couple had already done a lot of the work. And if you don't know what I mean when I say the work, I basically mean really looking at their own subconscious patterns and addressing those patterns and choosing to rewire them in the neurological pathways and really redirect things with intention. So, and it's like the soul work, the deep heart work. So they'd already done a lot of that work. So they had, for example, when it came to how they would prepare for bed at night, she would be exhausted and ready to go to bed, and he would, she's a manifester, he would still like be up and ready to go. He would work all day, come home, be very hands-on with the children, help clean up with dinner, help get everyone ready for bed, and then still wanted to get on the computer, read a book, like he still had this energy in his motor centers that needed to be expended before he really rested really well. And so they kind of came to their own compromise where they'd get in the bed at the same time, and she basically would go to sleep and he would work from the bed. But they did it with this way of still kind of wanting the other person to do it their way. So for example, you know, she's still kind of like, why do you still need to work? You know, I don't understand, like you've been doing this all day. And he's like, why are you so tired so early? So they had this, even though they came to something that worked for them, they still kind of had this undercurrent of it not being not genuine supported, if that makes sense. I don't want to say kind of a little bit of conflict in the undercurrent, but nothing major, right? But of course, again, they'd already done a lot of the work. But it's really cool whenever they actually understood how the other person was wired, how the person best did things, because ultimately in a partnership, in a relationship, you're going to be with someone who wants the absolute best for you and wants you to operate at your best no matter what. Like that's going to be way more important than you doing what they need you to do to fit their mold, right? And so that's one of the things I've really seen be elevated within the relationships when I've done the chart sessions for couples. You begin to have an enlarged capacity for that person, and the understanding as to who they are really increases, and it's a really cool process. So when you read the charts together, you also have all of these epiphanies, like, oh my gosh, she does do that. Oh my gosh, this is exactly what he does. Yes, he totally does that. But now, instead of it kind of being this thing that almost like aggravated you that you couldn't understand, you're like, oh, that's just part of you. Okay, cool. Like, that's awesome. Like, how can I make this even better for you, easier for you? Like, how can I support you in this? There's a dance. There's more, essentially, there's more connectedness, which is always what you want when you're talking long-term partnership, right? Or even just growing in a partnership. So this is one of the main reasons that I love couple sessions. So we're going to read through both charts together, pull both the dynamics, and again, we really want to talk about what that looks like in your life, what this looks like for you guys to begin working with it, to support each other, to strengthen your relationship, to address things that are there that need to be addressed, etc. So that is what to expect from a couples session with me. And again, it will be recorded, so you have access to all of the audio and all of the information after the session.